Hi everyone, it's Lorraine here from the Cooking Good kitchen, and we're going to make some hidden veg versatile sauce. So it's a really simple sauce, so let's get started. Okay, so these are our ingredients for our magical versatile sauce, because we can do so much with this sauce, but it's got lots of good vegetables in it for us, and we can change the vegetables if we want to. So I've got a whole onion, I've got a handful of mushrooms, I've got courgette, I've got a stalk of celery, and I've got a carrot, 2 cloves of garlic. So that's all the veg in there, and I've got some herbs. Got 2 tins of tomatoes. The recipe does say passata, which is a more liquid sauce kind of tomatoes, but these will do because this is what I've got. I've got some tomato puree that will help to give it a nice consistency. I've got some salt, some pepper, and I need some olive oil. And I'm going to need a box grater, a knife, and maybe a peeler. I've already peeled the carrot, and a large pan. So that's what we need. And here we've got all our vegetables that we need to chop or grate. I'm going to chop our mushrooms, just roughly. Get these ready. Mushrooms are one of those things that adults like and sometimes children say they don't like. But what we can do is we can hide them in this sauce, even from the adults, as long as they're not allergic or have an intolerance. There we go. That's our onion that's sweating onto our chopping board here. It does say to grate the onion, but I find onion quite difficult to grate and a bit easier to cut into small pieces. So I'm going to do that. It will, for me, reduce waste to cut it. She said, struggling with the last bit. This is quite a big onion, almost the size of 2 small onions, this one. What you can do with this sauce is you can actually cook it and you can put some aside and freeze it. You can even make 2 lots of this and use it in a lot of different dishes. It will work well with lasagna, with as a pasta sauce. It will work well as a base for pizza. There's a lot of onion here, but that's okay. That'll make it very flavoursome. And we're going to grate the courgette. It's really good to have a grater, especially for things like courgette and carrot. Makes it a lot easier. Even if some of it does hit you in the face. Leave the last bit. We've got a lot of vegetables here. These are all great for overall health and for our immune system. So here we've got all our vegetables, just one more to go, and also the garlic. Again, I think I'm not going to grate the celery, I'm going to cut it up into small pieces, because I find that a little bit easier with celery. A bit of mushroom on that. Now we've nearly got all our vegetables and our garlic. If you've got a garlic crusher, you can use a garlic crusher. If you haven't, then just chop the garlic. That's one. And that's the second one. I'm going to add our garlic to the bowl as well. And then we're going to heat our oil in the pan. About 2 tablespoons of olive oil there. And we're going to put that on the heat and get it warm. And now on the hob we're going to just add our veg. To the hot pan that's got the olive oil in it. And you can hear that. Cooking away. You can always add some other colours to this, like a yellow pepper or a red pepper, chopped up or grated. Now we're just going to give that a few minutes to sweat and soften. And that's just been softening a little bit in the pan, and we're going to add our tomatoes. The recipe said passata at 500 grams, but I'm using 1 tin of chopped tomatoes, and because I've got a lot of onion and the courgette is quite big as well, I've got another tin of tomatoes. So this is about 1.5 tins of tomatoes. Let's see. You know, I think it can cope with the other half tin of tomatoes. So that's actually 2 tins of chopped tomatoes in this sauce. And to make it a little bit thicker, we're going to have 2 tablespoons of tomato puree. And 1 teaspoon, I'm going to do a bit more because I like a lot of herbs, of mixed herbs. and a little bit of salt, and you guessed it, pepper. So that's our mixture. Mix that together, put it back on the hob, and we're going to cook that till it's cooked, probably for about 15 to 20 minutes. You can put the lid on if you want to, or if not, keep an eye on it. So everyone, here is our lovely versatile hidden veg sauce. You can cook it for a lot longer. If you put a lid on it and cook it for about an hour, it will become much smoother and much richer. But if you've only got 20 minutes or half an hour, and this is the end result. This is looking really good. If you have got a blender, you could blend this down if you want to, but it is happily usable as it is. You can cool it. Put some in the freezer, which is what I do. Here's a container that I will use, and I'll pop some of that when it's cold into the container. I'll put a label on it, pop that in the freezer, and I will use some of this sauce to make a lasagna. That's what I'm going to do. Some of that lasagna will be frozen as well, because I'm going to make 2 lasagnas, and one I'm going to freeze. So it's a really versatile sauce. As I say, you can use it as part of a pasta dish or as a casserole. If you had a little bit of white wine left over at all, a glass of white wine mixed with that, and some chicken in a casserole for an hour and a half in the oven, that would be amazing. So it's a really versatile sauce.